Unit 5 Vocabulary. Aghast, adjective, filled with amazement, disgust, fear, or terror. Aghast comes from Old English gassen, frightened, which comes in turn from ghast, ghost. If you've seen a look of absolute shock or terror on someone's face, like when your mom sees a mouse, you can describe the look with the adjective aghast. Ample, adjective, more than enough, large, spacious. Ample describes an abundance of something. An ample supply of apple muffins at the bake sale is a good thing, as an ample legroom in your new van, but you probably don't want your ample waistline spilling over the top of your jeans. Apparition, noun, a ghost or ghostly figure, an unexplained or unusual appearance. Deriving from the Latin apparire, appear, apparition was first used in 1520 in a religious context, referring to the moment when the three wise men appear before infant Jesus in the Bible. Later, apparition came to include the appearance of ghosts or ghostly figures. It can also mean a memory so vivid it's like seeing a ghost. Assert, verb, to declare or state as truth, maintain or defend, put forward forcefully. Asserting is all about standing up for what you believe. You might assert an opinion, your innocence, or even your authority over someone else. Cower, verb, to crouch or shrink away from in fear or shame. When you cower, you're not just afraid. You're so terrified that your whole body cringes, crouches, and shrinks on itself to hide from the source of your fear. Victims of school bully cower whenever he comes near. 6. Disdain, verb, to look upon with scorn, to refuse scornfully. If you feel that someone isn't worthy of your consideration, you may disdain it or treat it with disdain. 7. Epitaph, noun, a brief statement written on a tomb or gravestone. Epitaph is usually the words inscribed on the stone, but it can also be a memorial statement about someone who has died. Epitaphs are usually grave, but old ones can sometimes be unintentionally funny. 8. Ethical, adjective, having to do with morals, values, right and wrong, in accordance with standards of right conduct, requiring a prescription for purchase. For someone who is honest and follows good moral standards, use the adjective ethical. An ethical teacher will grade your papers honestly, even if she catches you sticking your tongue out at her. 9. Facetious. It's an adjective. Humorous, not meant seriously. Someone who is facetious is only joking. I was being facetious when I told my mother I want Brussels sprouts with every meal, but she took me seriously. 10. Inaudible, adjective, not able to be heard. Inaudible is another way of saying hushed or silent. If you thought the bad words you muttered under your breath were inaudible, perhaps you should have turned off that microphone in front of you. 11. Indiscriminate, adjective, without restraint or control, unselective. Nuclear bombs are indiscriminate, as are earthquakes. They affect everyone in their path rather than picking or choosing. When something is indiscriminate, it makes no fine distinctions. 12. Intrigue, noun, crafty dealings, underhanded plotting, verb, to form and carry out plots, to puzzle or excite the curiosity. An intrigue is a secret plot. If you ever become the monarch of a small island kingdom, keep watch for signs of intrigue against you. 13. Jurisdiction, noun, an area of authority or control, the right to administer justice. Jurisdiction means having a legal right over something. A court can have jurisdiction over a legal question. A government can have jurisdiction over another country or territory. Even your parents could be said to have jurisdiction over you while you're under 18. 14. Plausible, adjective, appearing true, reasonable, fair. If something is plausible, it's reasonable or believable. Things that are plausible could easily happen. A woman becoming president is very plausible. A giraffe becoming president is not. Plebeian, adjective, common, vulgar, belonging to the lower class. Noun, a common person, member of the lower class. In Roman times, the lower class of people was the plebeian class. Today, if something is plebeian, it is of the common people. Prodigal, adjective, wastefully extravagant, lavishly or generously abundant. Use the adjective prodigal to describe someone who spends too much money or something very wasteful. Your prodigal spending on fancy coffee drinks might leave you with no money to buy lunch. Proximity, noun, nearness, closeness. The word proximity means nearness and is often qualified by the word close. It was hard not to see him cheating when our desks are in such close proximity to one another. Pulverize, verb, to grind or pound to a powder or dust, to destroy or overcome. When you pulverize something, you break it up until it becomes dust or powder. You might pulverize coffee beans in grinder. When you pulverize something, you break it up until it becomes dust or powder. You might pulverize coffee beans in grinder, running it until the coffee turns to powder. Sequel, that which follows a result, literary work, or film continuing the story of one written or made earlier. A sequel is a part two. The Empire Strikes Back and Toy Story 2 are sequels. Many successful movies and have sequels. Volatile, adjective, highly changeable, fickle, tending to become violent or explosive, changing readily from the liquid to the gaseous state. Watch out when a situation becomes volatile. It is likely to change for the worse suddenly. You fight and then you make up with your partner often if you have a volatile relationship.